Y'all, we kind of miscalculated our meals a little bit, and so now we have to eat this chicken for breakfast. How do you feel, Henry? I think this is very European. Don't they eat like meats for breakfast? I think that's more like
breakfast meats.
No, I think they do like toast with like tomato and some like basil and salami or something. I don't know. If anyone's from Europe, you can correct me, but I feel like this could maybe fly in Europe. It's gonna fly here. The scents are strong.
Honestly, pretty good.
All right, we are leaving our beloved Ridgecrest Econo Lodge. Served us well while I was ill a month, 2 months, something ago. And again, while we were here, we are walking 1.7 miles to where the bus is going to get us. And I will explain later our future plans in more detail. It's like 10:05 and Henry has ordered a hamburger. Lols. So we made it on our first bus to Inyo Transit Center, and then we had like a 3-hour wait for our next bus. So we've been sitting outside the bus stop, and then this place opened at 10. So we're in here for like an hour before we go back. In a surprising twist, Henry did not get Dr. Pepper, and there is an insect in his drink. Alright, so the time has come for me to address what are we doing next. First, I'm going to give a little context, a little overview, and then say what we're doing, and then hopefully I feel like A, I want to have this for myself, and B, I feel like it's sometimes easier to like follow visually. I'm going to try to use some markers to like draw a very poor man's basic concept of what we're doing. We'll see if that works. But anyway, to kind of summarize, we made it to the Sierras. We've done the entirety of the first 700 miles of the PCT, which is considered the desert section. After 703 miles or whatever we did, is considered the Sierra or High Sierra section, depending on who you talk to or whatever. Anyway, and some people are definitely going in, and going through, and you know, many people are skipping around. The main reason being because just at this point with the historic snowpack, etc., it's definitely a mountaineering thing. It's not, wouldn't really be accurate to consider it simply hiking. And some people feel comfortable with that, and that's something they want to do. And then other people, like me, are not comfortable with that. And I don't think that it would be, neither Henry nor myself think it would be wise for me to attempt that. Nor do I want to. I think if he was doing the trail by himself, he would probably find a group to go in with, but it's just not something that I want to do, or that I think I'm really able to do at this point. I just really don't have the desire or the skills. I like wish that I had the skills, but because of the skills that I have and don't have, I don't have the desire, because I think it would just really be a bad experience. So anyways, and obviously with that comes like safety concerns and everything else. It's actually getting to the point now where I'm guessing people won't be able to go in pretty soon, just because it is melting, and the river crossings, a lot of the, I shouldn't say a lot, but from what I can tell, it seems like at least multiple bridges are either completely out or damaged or whatever. And so we'll have to see like what happens with all of that. I really don't want to speak too much about something that I haven't seen, but there are reports of different bridges being damaged and out and flooded and whatever. So anyway, the point is, there was sort of like this season at the beginning where some people that felt like they could with the right equipment and things have been going in when it's kind of earlier, there's less melt, there's snow bridges and things like that, but those are already starting to collapse in some situations that we've seen. And yeah, the conditions are becoming such that I think there will be a period of time where it probably no one really will enter because it'll be kind of too late. And then like later on, probably a lot more people will enter. But anyway, I don't really know what the numbers are. It seems like there's a good number of people going through. There's a lot of people skipping, and then there's a lot of people that are leaving the trail entirely, either going to hike different trails or just going home and trying again a different year or whatever it is. So we've encountered like a huge variety. And then with people skipping or like going to the next, you know, skipping around the Sierras and doing another section, there's a lot of different places people are going to. So what Henry and I are doing, we have researched a lot. I think there is like really no perfect decision. I think there are probably some wrong decisions, maybe not, I don't know. But there's certainly like multiple right decisions, I would say. It's super hard to know. And it's super hard too, like without being there to know what are the conditions going to be like. And even like you're doing the research now, but in a week it's going to be different. So, you know, it's really difficult. You just kind of like get the most information you can, make the best decision you can, and realize that no decision you make is going to be perfect. So what we have decided to do, all of that in mind, is basically that we are taking a little bit of time off trail this week, just kind of taking a little break. So during that time, we're not going to be making any videos. And then we're going to be getting back on trail next weekend. So we're taking about a week off, basically. And when we do get back on trail, it will be in Northern California. We're going to do just a short section in Northern California. So from around the old station, like Hat Creek area, and then about 130 miles up to Dunsmuir, something like that. The point of us doing that section is that ultimately what we've done is we've changed our permits to go southbound. And that's how we're going to try to do like the rest of it, but it's still a little bit early to do a southbound hike. Thankfully, the snow is melting in Washington a little bit faster than it normally does, and they had like, you know, a roughly average, maybe a little bit below average snow year, but it's melting quickly. So that's good. So essentially we're like, you know, taking a week, just taking a little break, doing about a week or so of, you know, that Northern California section to just give us a little more time, and then we're doing a southbound hike. Now our permits were changed in such a way that they don't cover that entire section. So there's like a small little section that we'll have to get local permits from, but our PCT permit will cover the vast majority of that. And so what that means is that since we're essentially then southbound hikers, we will be able to, if it works out time-wise, we'll be able to do a southbound trip through the Sierras. And if we are able to get through everything, you know, the whole PCT, we would essentially be ending in Kennedy Meadows where we stopped. We will enter at Hart's Pass, and unfortunately the road is washed out, so I think we're gonna have to do like a 10-mile road walk there. And then in order to get to the actual border, so Hart's Pass is really close to the border, but it's not all the way there, and so we'll have to hike from Hart's Pass up to the Canadian border, kind of like tag the monument there, and then go back down 30 miles and then continue. So there will be that like extra road walk, and then there will be like duplicating the 30 miles. The PCT did have like a relationship or like a agreement or whatever with, I guess, the Canadian government or something, where hikers could enter into Canada, but that went away with COVID, and they actually just brought it back. But unfortunately, Henry and I don't have our passports on us, and you need that to like apply for it, so we won't be able to do that, which is a little bit of a bummer. But anyway, so yeah, just to quickly recap, what we're planning on doing is taking a little bit of time off, and then starting next weekend, we will be doing about a week or so, 130 miles in Northern California, and then going up to Hart's Pass, tagging the border, coming back, and then it'll just be a southbound hike from there. So again, I'm gonna try to do like a visual of this, partly for just myself, and partly because maybe people are visual and like to see it that way, I don't know. And yeah, we're excited about it. Like I said, there's really no perfect plan. There's probably a lot of right answers here, and we're hoping that ours is one of them. We were super, super happy with the way that our initial flip worked out. So obviously we're not gonna have done a through hike in the sense of like walking from one point to the other, but I think very few people will have done that this year, and personally, I'm okay with that. We just wanna do as much as we can, and we're having a great time. So anyways, thanks for following along, and yeah, we will keep you guys posted as we continue. All right, so I'm going to attempt to show you visually what we're doing here. This is my not to scale, just kind of trying to draw the states here. So here we have California, as you can see, Oregon, and Washington. This is a very rough look at what the PCT looks like from Mexico here all the way up to Canada. So what we have done so far is that we started here at Campo. We hiked 150 miles up to the area of Paradise Valley Cafe, and then we took Henry's family drove us up to Walker Pass, and then at that point we're going to change colors. We hiked from Walker Pass down, how many miles was that? That was
500.
About roughly 500. About 500 miles. And then Steve, good old Steve, drove us back to Walker Pass, and then we walked about 50 miles up to Kennedy Meadows South. Oh, and we'll put 50 miles. Okay, so this whole thing here was 703 miles-ish. There we go. Okay. The ish is because it's not exactly 703. We did hike the whole thing, just to clarify. Okay. So now what we're gonna do is different color. We're gonna take a little, I'm not exactly sure yet. We're gonna say LA is here. I honestly don't know. But we'll say LA is here. We're taking a little break, and we are going to fly in an airplane up where, somewhere to Sacramento. I don't really know where Sacramento is either, but we'll say it's here. And then we're gonna get to the trail here, okay? I'm gonna use a different color. This is my approximation for Old Station, or Hat Creek. And so what we will do is we will hike north. This is about 130 miles. So this is from Hat Creek. And then we'll get off here, which is Dunsmuir. I think that's how you spell it. We'll do that portion, and then at that point we will head, well, we will get up one way or another. Oh, I should have done dots there, my bad, it's a little chaotic. Up to Seattle, not exactly sure where that is, but somewhere around there. And then we have a trail angel that is going to take us here, and this, as you may know, oh, go this way, is Hart's Pass. I think it's H-A-R-T-S. Pass. And so this little section here, what we'll do is we'll basically, we have to hike the 10 miles along the road. But this little section here, we will hike 30 miles up to the border. Like I said, we will not be able to enter Canada, unfortunately. So we will have to hike back that 30 miles as well. So it'll really be 60 miles, but only 30 miles of trail. So then once we're there, then we will start, any colors I haven't used yet, we'll do yellow. Then we will start and we will go and then we're gonna have to figure out a way to skip this. Okay, and then we'll come all the way down, and in a perfect world we will end right back at Kennedy Meadows South, and that will be our ending point. Do we live in a perfect world? We do not. Do we know if we're gonna end here? We hope so, but we're just gonna have to see. So I just thought maybe a visual representation would be helpful. At least, hopefully it was entertaining, if nothing else.
I will also say that you cannot cross from Canada into the United States, so even if we did have our passports and everything approved, we could not go grab lunch in Manning Park and come back. You can't come back.
Wait, I thought you could if you have that thing.
No, you can only go one way.
Oh, you can't go and come back?
No.
Even if you have that special permit?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good to know.
All right.